Hey guys, join your scary queens,
Chelsea,
Christian, Harry,
and Sabrina for the Witching Hour.
we will review horror,
get into some mysterious stories,
and to be honest, probably share our opinions on just about anything.
Don't be afraid to stick around.
My legs are kind of hairy. Not gonna lie.
That's a very way to start the podcast. I'm here. Sorry.
Fucking bitch.
Oh no.
There we go.
I'm so sorry, y'all. We are all goblins right now. Every last one of us. Sabrina
Just goblin life.
gathering her legs, Christian screaming, Harry's giggling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, welcome everyone to the Scary Queens The Witching Hour with your one and only Scary Queens. Today we are doing the third to last movie review for our October special. Hope you guys have enjoyed it so far. Second to last. I keep saying that. I said it last time too. Second to last.
But first,
So
a
right now.
moment.
Oh, but okay.
Oh.
First, before we start the review, you guys like to listen to our gabs and our goops and our whatever we just want to talk about. And Christian is going to prepare something on camera for us. So watch on YouTube or Spotify, bitches.
It's water.
For
recipe.
anybody
We can do
yeah.
audio descriptions. Don't worry, I'll be in charge.
Okay. So
good luck.
I'm gonna do a water recipe for y'all, and we're gonna decide it live on the show, because this is a show. But basically, for anybody who doesn't know what that is, on TikTok,
show.
For those of y'all who don't know what a show is, no. For those of you who don't know what water recipes are, on TikTok there was like this trend that like it's still, there's like water talk influencers. It's like really deep. So basically what people do is they get these like sugar-free like water packets that like flavor your water.
They're packets of Mio. If you guys remember those little squirts of Mio that you used to be able to put in your drink.
But it's like they also come in powder, and people use like a little syrups and stuff. It gets really convoluted.
For the millennials, it's the Crystal Light era that we went through.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal Light.
And so people started mixing them, making mocktails, out of water, and it's just a way to make a drink that's just water, like get your water intake, but like still have
maybe
more.
because I'm not drinking anymore, I should start doing water talk, dude. Maybe that'll scratch an itch for me.
Yeah, some of them are like made to simulate like margarita or whatever, like mocktail version. If you're just drinking water. Like I have one that like what was it? It was like 7-Up, and I did like a Shirley Temple. Hey, it was like I was drinking soda, but it was just water. So it kind of like scratched the soda itch.
Temple.
But anyway, so guys, what should I do? I'm gonna go through my flavors real quick. I have Starburst, the pink one.
Ooh.
That's pretty fun.
I like the orange one, actually. That's my favorite Starburst.
Hey, said no one ever.
How does it feel to be wrong?
I like it. I feel like it has the most flavor.
Well, that's good, because then when we get a packet, I'm gonna be like,
you can give me the
this
orange
is
one.
specifically from the packs that are Starbursts all pink. So yeah, that's the pink Starburst. I also have Ocean Water from Sonic. All of these Skittles flavors. So there's strawberry, grape, orange, green apple.
Oh, I love a green apple flavor thing.
Skittles.
I'm starting to drink Alani's. They're very good. They're like they're like the gym girl Celsius. The gym girlies love them. They're so good, and they have this one called Witch's Brew, and it just tastes like green apple, like a green apple Smirnoff. It's really good.
We have Sunkissed, we have orange, we have Jolly Rancher green apple, a bunch of those. We got Nerds grape.
Ooh.
These are all courtesy of Chelsea. Chelsea got me these. Thank you, girl.
Ew.
Country Time pink lemonade. I had this one time. It was the tartest thing in the world. It was so, I had to water it down. Skittles again, but wild cherry. We have the wild berry flavors, the strawberry Nerds, raspberry Skittles, strawberry Skittles again, but different packaging, and pineapple Sunkist. We have a lot going on here.
I think
What should we do?
I think you should do half of a sun-kissed orange and half of the the wild cherry?
Wild
Something?
berry. I have wild.
Yeah. Half
Yeah,
a
wild
wild
cherry.
berry. Yeah, yeah. I think that would be good. Orange cherry.
Y'all agree?
Yeah.
Sabrina ain't
I
listening.
mean, that sounds awful, but you can drink it.
I'm doing a Harry. I'm
I
setting
just
a
don't like
alarm.
it. I don't like an orange flavor.
I love an orange flavor.
like an
I
orange flavor.
hate a grape flavor. Actually, I think
I
grape
love
flavor-
Yeah,
grape
I'm not a
flavor.
huge fan of grape.
I think
I love grape.
I think
Unless
grape
it's
flavored
like
things
a-
taste so artificial.
¿Cómo se
Well-
llama? Harry, ¿cómo se llama? La soda.
Um,
The
Sorry.
Fanta.
una uvita. That's what we call it. Una uvita, a Fanta, like a
Uvita,
grape
pero-
Fanta.
But it's not Fanta. It's another brand.
No, yeah,
But yeah, we know what we're talking. Y'all Puerto Ricans. Okay.
yeah.
We know what we're talking about. I can't do this, so we're gonna snip.
Snip, snip.
I have a full dingle of Starburst. Hey, Starbucks water and ice, but the ice melted. I'm gonna do half a packet of the Skittles wild cherry.
B. I'm having
That's going
fun.
in.
Me too. Guys, this is what
Now
it's
we're gonna
like
go with-
for us, just hanging out.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, this is our weekends.
Yep.
And half a packet of the Sunkissed orange.
I think this is gonna be good.
Ooh, it smells. It smells like Skittle. Can I tell you?
I used to drink a lot of diet sun-kissed orange because my grandpa was diabetic. So we always had diet like sugar-free drinks. Tastes so good. And my grandma would call soda tonic. So she was
Tonic
from
is just sparkling water, if I may, correct?
Christian, are you
Yeah.
thinking of India or Old Colony?
India.
Oh, India.
Mhm.
I've tried
India.
that. I've had it.
The Gold Colony one just says Uvita.
I've had the
Oh, I
India
see. No,
one.
I like the India one.
I've had that
I mean,
one
I don't
in
think I've
Puerto
had the
Rico.
colony one. Period. Chelsea's Puerto Rican, if you didn't know. This
Is it good?
kind of fire. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so good at this because I went to flavor school.
Oh, you know
unlike
what?
some of you.
And then when
it's
I'm done with my
red.
half packet, I put it on this clip. And if I needed another half one, later.
So Christian's drink ended up being blood red, which I think is very in theme for today's episode. Today's episode,
Period.
we're talking about Nightmare on Elm Street. Special request per
Wrong.
my
Wrong. It's called
mother.
A Nightmare on Elm Street.
And it's called
Isn't it
Suck
called
My
The
Dick.
Nightmare on Elm Street?
Nope, there's an A.
Okay.
So
My mother has been requesting this since we started this podcast.
Your mom has
Um,
good taste.
She
good
has
taste,
good
'cause I love
taste.
this
She
movie.
said that this movie traumatized her as a child. My mom was but a young warthog when this movie came out in the year.
73.
3
nope.
Ain't no way.
84.
came.
Thank
Yeah, it came
you.
out
Oh,
84.
80.
I was like, that was
Uh,
before my mom was a
yeah.
That
thought.
was Halloween was 70s, but
Yeah, so this one's a proper 80s film. So good, so camp, honestly. Not so camp, but it has its moments.
Mhm.
So opening scene. What does it look like, ladies?
Oh my god, the best ASMR moment of my life.
Take it away.
Oh,
Tell me all
jeez.
about it.
Were y'all watching that and getting the
I
No.
was not.
they were
but
like
I love that for you.
looking and panning around at everything, and then it's showing Freddy Krueger. Which, if you don't know who Freddy Krueger is, like, hello, what are you doing here?
The antagonist of the story.
Making his little like glove thingies with the knives on it, and then it
Mhm.
shows him real close to the camera slipping his hand into his like famous little gloves. It was so satisfying.
And you know what? I think he only has the one, right? He only has the one hand.
Only
Yeah.
one hand.
Yeah, it's just
I
one.
thought he was double handing it. Yeah. I thought he was double handing it this whole time. He's just one handing it. That's crazy.
Well, we find out later why.
Ping, 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 ping.
Ping pong, ping pong.
Thanks, Harry.
Okay.
Anyway,
What?
so we see that, and then we transition into seeing this like big empty hallway moment. with a girly running through it and seeing and hearing spooky things, which we know is Freddy the Kooks. And she's like, oh my God, I have to Freddy the Kooks. She was like, I have to escape this man. I have to escape this man. She's running. She's spooked. She's getting scared. And she reaches this point where she is going through it. She's going through it. And she wakes up. She realizes it was a dream all along.
All along. And then her mom pops in. She's like, you okay, sweetie? And then some man stumbles in behind her, is like, you're coming back to the sack. And I'm like,
I know.
Oh, I also noted this song deserves a Grammy, low key. The song that was playing while he was chasing her, fire. I was telling Carrie earlier, honestly. It was just like 80s like synths moment, but I was thinking about it and I was like, right now it sounds like, ooh, that's so 80s. Back then, obviously, was the friggin' 80s. So I'm like, I could imagine. I feel like this is the equivalent of them playing like Dua Lipa in like a movie for us right now. You know what I'm saying?
So funny, dude.
You know what I'm saying? That's like, so it's like, funny. Like just a modern song.
Yeah.
But it feels so like, oh my God, the vibes. And it's like, that was the vibes back then.
And then we find out, in fact, it was not just a dream because she looks down at her muumuu and her muumuu is spliced. And her mom's like, wow.
Cut your fingernails.
Yeah, she's like, wow.
Can I tell you? Crazy. How sharp do your fingernails have to be? Is that a thing that she does?
You got talons if you're doing that. You're picking up.
They're also they've got jagged. Can I tell you? You could cut through a fucking steak with those shits. They got that serrated edge on your nails if you're doing that.
That was crazy. Sometimes my mom doesn't listen to this. If she did, she would kill me. Sometimes my mom, who is a beautiful, wonderful woman, doesn't like, I don't know how to say this without embarrassing her. She like will forget to like trim her toenails, which like she has clean, fine toenails, but she'll forget to trim them and they'll get kind of long. And then while she's sleeping, she'll kick my dad and like nick his leg. And he'll wake up in the middle of the night and be like, oh my God, what the hell are you doing to me? Because she's like cut into him. And then the next morning he'll have like a little cut on his leg from where she juked him with her toenail.
Not gonna lie, been there, done that. I honestly, it's because my toe meat is so much smaller, but it doesn't look. Sorry, it doesn't look like I'm not kept. Like because I remember that happening once before that I like cut a partner while we were sleeping. But then I was like, could I dig myself out of my graves with my toenails? And it's like, no, they look normal. Yeah. It's just the way that your nail grows, it's probably just not very close to your toe, just kind of comes off.
Yeah.
I don't have duck toes. They're not coming up like this, but you know what I mean. It's just
Sabrina's walking around like this with her feet.
Yeah, like right now they look normal. I still got some toe meat up top. You would think if they're too long, you're not going to see the toe up top. No, you can still see the toe. It's just, I don't know. Sorry. Don't worry, Jane.
Okay.
Same.
Well, anyway, Tina wakes up from her dream. Her name's Tina. Short for Christina, which is crazy. I thought her name was just Tina, but later they call her Christina.
Tina.
She is off-brand Brooke Shields.
I kept thinking she was Brooke Shields. I was like,
are you talking about Christine? Are you talking about Tina? Or are you talking about Nancy?
Tina
with the short hair?
Like? Oh no, is that Tina?
Tina's the girl from the beginning.
The blonde girl.
Oh,
Tina's the girl from the dream.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I kept thinking about that joke where the guy met those people and they're like, you want to go do Tina? And he's like, yeah, I love doing Tina.
I wrote a note about that because girl, wait, where did I write it? I wrote something about Tina around the corner.
Yes.
Chelsea, can you explain that one? That one's really good.
So these I think they were two comedians, maybe they think they were drag queens. We're talking about how one of them went to like a bar and they were like, hey, do you want to go do Tina? And he thought they were talking about do like a Tina Turner impression. And he was like, oh yeah, I love to do Tina. And they're like, okay, we're gonna go around the corner real quick and do Tina. And he's like, why do we have to go around the corner? Hey, it wasn't Tina Turner. It was the street name for
a drug. Yes.
Which
the note I wrote while watching this movie, which later, I mean, guys, spoiler alert, people die a lot.
No.
So at some point, Tina's getting dragged, and I said, "Y'all seen Tina drag around the corner?"
Oh my
Double
God!
entendre.
Wow.
Anyway, continue.
Oh God. So then they show her, Tina and her two friends. One's a guy, one's a girl, and they're dating. And they get out of the car, and Tina's like talking about the terrible nightmare that she had, and it kind of like comes to light that all three of them have kind of had a similar dream, a guy with like razors for fingers, whatever, chasing them. And then as they're walking,
they're not taking her seriously, girl.
No, they're not taking her seriously. They're like, yeah, whatever. And then her friend says maybe there's an earthquake coming, like sometimes people like things get weird. And then this guy that comes up, he puts his arm around Tina, and because they're talking about dreams last night, and he goes, I had an erection this morning.
I had a hard on,
and it had your name all over it, Tina.
And Tina said, my name's Tina, and that's 4 letters. There's no way there's space for 4 letters on your piece. And I said,
on his joint. She called it his joint. And I was like, what? And then he said,
him and Johnny Depp hot.
What?
He said,
Rod and Johnny.
Did you hear his comeback to her? He goes, up yours with a spinning lawnmower.
Can I tell you? He's a jagweed. I don't understand the vibe.
But he's got a leather jacket and an earring. So he's like cool. You know?
Can I tell you, I am good girl to my core. Like it's not like oh, good girl wants to turn bad. I am actually a good girl to my core. Bad boys like that give me anxiety. It's like, no, you're gonna get me in trouble. I really don't want to vibe with you. So like when I see them in movies, I'm like, ew, like I can't. Too much of a goody two shoes for that shit. I don't like it.
I loved it.
But yeah, so they're entering school. They all meet up. We start seeing like Nancy, Glenn, Rod, Tina. We're all going crazy names. But some of these.
But I like these better than Lori, Tori, and Worry. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Yeah. True. So we go to school. Is this when they decide that they're gonna have a sleepover after school, right? That night? Because Tina could not sleep. She was like, I don't want to be alone tonight.
And her mom was going out of town with her boyfriend. So she was like,
y'all should come over and we can vibe, and then I don't have to sleep alone. They were like, you know what? Let's do it. And so they do.
That boy had the best way to like trick his mom into thinking he was there. He it's the 80s, so they're using like a boombox. And he's calling his mom from what he's pretending to be his cousin's house because there's no caller ID. You don't know where the phone number is coming from. Imagine that. And then he plays a cassette.
Get a call. They won't get a call from bitch.
But yeah, he puts a cassette in the tape deck and it's playing like airplane noises because his cousin lives under an airplane, and he's like, or by an airport. That's what I meant.
Under an airplane.
Under an airplane. And so he's like, yeah, I'm here. It's really loud. I gotta go. And then the tape starts playing all these crazy sounds.
Crazy.
It's like people shooting,
like a car
people
crash.
busted, a car crash, and he's like, oh, I think someone's hurt. I gotta go. And it's like just getting worse. And oh my God, that's when I was like, oh, this movie's gonna be like silly camp. Like it's gonna be good. That was my first like moment of realization. I honestly give him points for in getting that tape. Because I know that was not
good.
Easy.
That was a good plan.
Yeah.
And then the kids, Nancy reveals to Tina that she had a similar dream with the same man, because they find out he was wearing a green and red striped sweater, had weird fingers, and she's like, wait a minute, I saw that too. And they hear something outside, so they're like spooked and gagged. So they all get up, they try to go investigate, which never go investigate, but sure, whatever. I wrote down, hey, yo, Tina getting touchy with the Depp, because she was like grabbing Glenn's bicep.
Hey,
and I was like,
do you want me to fight you? Hey, do you want me to be in a really bad mood?
Kept touching
I'm
him.
the queen of being in a bad mood. I will ruin everyone's day. Get the fuck off of my boyfriend, dog.
I was like, I know we're scared, but like,
he was
not that scared.
Yeah.
No, I don't give a
That
shit.
was what?
Hold on to me. Honestly, also, I 9 times out of 10 like to think that I have the biggest cojones in the room. So I'm like, no, I'm the man. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna keep it safe. But it's I don't know. That's probably control.
I know
shit.
you'd
I'll
be.
talk to.
I know you'd be pissing though.
Or you'd be running out of the house.
No,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
like
yeah.
in a situation where it's like, who's the protector? It's me. Nobody's gonna show me up for protector. Me, and that's my daddy issues. Sorry, but
they keep hearing stuff in the house. It's like, and they're like, what is that? What is that? And they go outside to go check it out. And it's friggin' Rod, the guy that said up yours with the twirling lawnmower. He pops out of the bush and he's like, it's me. And he has like a garden rake, one of those 3-spoked rakes, and he was using that to like make noise on the window. He's and like she didn't want him there. It was very weird. I was like, are you a victim? Like, what's going
Yeah,
on?
she doesn't really like him, but
She
like
did-
also she do.
Or they were like fighting or something, but like it was just very
weird.
strange. So he comes over and he's like, we got her parents' bedroom, you guys got everything else. And I'm like,
Which is again similar to another movie we watched. Maybe we didn't watch in this order, but the way they just bring over random people, get them in parents' beds, and
Why
they
not
just
your
go
own?
down.
You have a bed.
I
Just go to your
never
bed.
did that. I never did that. That was wild. But yeah, they go into her parents' room, and then Glenn tries to like kiss up on Miss Girl. I don't remember what her name is.
Tina.
The
Oh, sorry,
Right.
Glenn with Nancy.
Yeah, he starts to try and kiss up
Nancy.
on Nancy, and she's like, not now, we're not here for us, we're here for Tina to help her out. And I'm like, she don't care. And then of
But
course
she's
She a
getting
real one
help.
for that though.
5 seconds later, all we hear is Tina-ing and Rodding.
Rod, can I
Um,
tell you? That was insane. And we just see a shot of Glenn, Johnny Mr. Depp, listening to Tina and Rod's expedition.
This is the moment I realized it was Johnny Depp, by the way, because he looks nothing like Johnny
That's
Depp now.
God, he just
I was
looks
like,
young.
He was
like,
just 20.
is that him? But like I said earlier when we were talking, like in Crybaby, he looks exactly like himself. In this
I feel like
movie,
he looks the
something was
same.
off.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm seeing stuff, but like I realized that it was Johnny Depp.
Wow.
I don't know
That was
why I
crazy.
said that, Johnny Depp. But yeah, she deserves an Oscar for that performance that she gave.
And not the one in the movie.
And not the one in the movie. Because I was like, what? Why is what
It was very elaborate.
bless her friend's heart. If I was them, I would be like, yo, I'm out of here. This is gross and weird and rude. This is not the Jersey Shore.
And after they, finish their little moment, he turns to her and he's like, now you're not gonna have any of those bad dreams, and like now we can both not have any of those nightmares. I was like, did he just tell her that he fucked the nightmare out of her? He was and also he discloses obviously that he's been having nightmares too.
And then she
she's
starts
like,
freaking. Yeah.
And they go to nighttime. Everybody goes to sleep.
Oh my God. And then she starts having the nightmare. It was so funny. I may or may not have been watching this while I was driving home from work.
Okay.
And I feel like the cops should not hear that. But
yeah, and that was actually a joke.
In
Hey, that was a
Minecraft.
joke.
In Minecraft. The way he was walking, his arms, they gave
Oh
me
my
extendo
gosh.
arms.
That dude.
That they
I
were like
love- it was
freaking
so
13
fucking
feet
funny.
long.
And why is he going like?
And I'm like,
He looked like one
It's
of
all
those
knees.
dealership dudes.
God, no shot, they made this man extendo arms. He'd go gadgeted down the
so
thing.
funny.
And
It
he's
was so good.
scraping his little knives against the walls.
Nancy's also freaking out in the other room because she's also having a nightmare. And she, then they made like the ceiling, I guess, like a sheet is what they would do for like practical.
So cool.
He's like reaching through the ceiling over top of her, and then he backs up because she kind of like wakes up, and she realizes, she's like, she grabs a crucifix, puts it on the wall.
Yep.
Which, smart.
Which is what the song
Yes,
says,
she does.
too, about the crucifix.
And then
the song again deserves a Grammy.
Yeah. And then he goes to Tina, and he's like, "Hey, Tina, watch this." Cuts his fingers off, and like green stuff starts shooting out for some reason, like a leprechaun. I was like,
so good.
What the heck is that? I was like dying watching this movie. And then
that's when he was like, she said something about God. She was like, she said something about God. Maybe she's something about,
and he said, "I am God," or something.
He said, "This is God." Can I tell you? Cunt.
Yeah. Oh,
cunt.
yeah.
That's a line.
So in real life, because this is all her dream, in real life, she's like, "Wah!" freaking out her body in bed. And then she like levitates off the bed. Rod is like, "What's going on?" Bitch slaps him with her body. He falls over. He's in his bounty. He's in his little tiny whiteies.
This entire thing. Honestly, this movie is camp. More camp than I thought.
That's what I'm saying. I was dying. It was
wild.
So funny.
She was like backwards sitting up the wall, pouring blood everywhere, gets stuck
crazy
to the ceiling, starts spinning, and he's just watching.
I knew this scene before because I saw it in one of the Scary movies. In Scary Movie, maybe like the first one. One of the girls, she starts fucking a ghost, but she starts fucking the ghost all over the room.
Oh yeah,
she starts like on the ceiling and everything, like in the same pattern that this bitch is getting fucked up.
It was so funny, and he's like shredding her, and like she's like,
he slashed her with
the
fingers, which that looked insane.
Yeah,
even for now, like that was like, ooh,
hey. And she's like, oh, and I'm like,
her stomach. Like crazy, she's bleeding
and
everywhere.
She just keeps saying,
and then he gave her a little tongue wiggle. Did you see that when he was like killing her? He was like,
yeah.
It was so gnarly.
Also, I was looking into some of the behind the scenes because I was kind of curious as to how they did this. They literally built like the whole room, bolted down all the furniture, and were spinning the entire set.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Which was wild for the time, like because we've seen that with like a couple things now, but I feel
wondering how they did that.
I feel like that was probably one of the first times where it was like, shit, we're gonna build a whole room and spin it. It was crazy.
The biggest Easter egg, I don't know if y'all noticed this. We go.
Yep, I know. Are you talking about school?
Yes, when they go to school, and fucking Elise is there
from Insidious. She's from Insidious.
It's Elise. She's so young. It was. She's the
Elise
medium
from Insidious. The medium, the old lady.
The old lady medium. Yeah.
How did you know it was her?
She's the teacher.
So funny.
Wait, was it the actress or just her name was Elise? Oh
no, it's the actress. When she
I didn't
was
even notice. Okay, but
I looked it up. I was like, is she in this movie? And she is. It was crazy. So what are you, Ariana? What are you doing here? Oh my god.
And so basically when all this like chaos is happening, Rod is freaking out because he doesn't know what is causing this, who is doing this. He thinks someone's there and he just couldn't see them because there's no logical.
I just pulled it up.
Oh yeah,
it's her, and she's so sweet.
I didn't even recognize her.
Oh my god, so cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he couldn't fathom what was happening. So everyone wakes up, they hear the yelling. Nancy and Glenn are coming. They're like, open the door is locked. Eventually they were able to open it. They see what happened, but can
I tell you, and it's a bloodbath. There's fucking shit everywhere.
Yeah,
they think that Rod did it because
he jumps out of a
at least Glenn does.
Well, yeah, because he's standing there covered in blood, and they're like, "What happened?"
Look what
and
the
he's
hell
like,
happened.
"I don't know," and then he takes off.
Yeah, I would have ran too if a ghost was slashing people.
Yeah.
So that was wild.
He's
and
hiding.
Basically, we go to the next day. I think it is. It's daytime now. Nancy's with the police, and she's putting on the performance of a lifetime.
Oh my god! This is what I was telling Christian. Like
she said,
fucking wasn't acting at all. It's similar to the sister from Halloween.
She's like, she's dead. I literally wrote, The tissue is dry and all that.
I know. Can I tell you? That was some bad acting. That was some bad acting. But she serves in the other. I think maybe like the pressure is high because you're like working with older actors and like it's an intimate scene. Like it's you and two other people.
I liked her in the rest of the movie. That was the one scene where I was like,
this,
what?
It would like go in and out. It was like the signal was bad. It would go in and out of good.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
But it's okay. She was iconic, so I'll let it slide.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
It was so funny.
And so
then,
basically, yeah.
The mom and dad come and they're like, what happened? And she's like, I don't know, but she's dead. And then while Nancy is walking home by herself, which I don't really understand why they let her do that.
Right.
She decides she's gonna go to school. So she's walking by herself. And then Rod,
but she hasn't slept also.
No, she hasn't slept.
Stressed.
Rod pops out of a bush, yoinks her, puts his hand over her mouth, and he's like, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Hey,
Hi,
that's
if
the
someone's
craziest
manhandling
way.
me like that, I don't hear what you're saying.
That's the craziest way to do that.
So,
and
yeah,
like I know he was trying to get her attention, but damn. And also I would like to know why he was, I guess, is the whole thing that he was just out in the woods the whole night?
He was out in the woods on the run. Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, why was he shirtless and shoeless? But he did have the leather jacket and pants.
It's like he grabbed his leather jacket and pants before he jumped out of the window and ran away. I'm assuming. But then it turns out Nancy's dad was like using her as bait because as soon as he grabs her, they're like, hands up. And he's like, yeah. And then they end up taking him to jail. And I like that when they show her talking to him in jail. First of all, they let her talk to him in jail. That's crazy.
Yeah, this close at the bars.
And then he's still wearing his leather jacket, his jeans, and his earring in the whole time when he's in jail.
Yeah.
It's like they didn't give him new clothes.
That was wild.
Oh my God.
But anyway, yeah. So now Nancy goes to school. And Nancy is going through it because class is going on, the lecture is happening. She's so tired, she hasn't slept all night because of the stress, because she's also a little bit scared. She doesn't know what's going on. And she starts to fall asleep in class. And she's dozing off, and she fully falls asleep. I also wrote a note at this point in the movie. I said, Sabrina would be toast in this universe. Because with the amount of sleep that you slept,
girl,
you would be gone.
Just take me
you
out.
Wouldn't survive.
Again, take me out. I'm not trying hard. Absolutely the fuck not. I need to sleep. I sleep maybe 23 hours of a 24-hour day, dude. Like, absolutely not. Oh my God.
I know you would lay down for your 6 p.m. nap, out, dead.
Can I tell you, I'm like an infant where it's like, I can't be hungry, I can't be sleepy, I can't be cold, I can't be hot. It's a really thin line. You know what I mean? I'm very rarely happy with my condition.
Oh my God.
Wow.
It's just called high maintenance. Wow.
I am high maintenance, but you know, it's worth it because I got big old brains. And what did you think I was going to say? And what did you think I was going to say? I meant my
thought you were going to talk about your...
I thought you were going to talk about your toes.
Yeah. I also, can I tell you, I could grip the shit out of something with my toes. I meant like something on the floor. Sorry, let's just continue.
Also,
anyway, Sabrina, for those of y'all who don't know, Sabrina was talking about her massive tits. So,
while the guy Rod is in jail, he's also, in addition to his leather jacket, still covered in blood. They won't hose this man off.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
His hands were still all bloody, and I was like, why didn't they toss this man in a bath?
But yeah, so Nancy falls asleep and she starts hearing like something calling for her. She sees Tina in a body bag calling to her.
Right, and follows it.
And just follows. Just, hey, what's that? She's following this blood trail, and this is where Tina was getting dragged. I wrote, Tina was getting dragged. Y'all seen Tina drag around the corner? Because then they drag Tina around the corner.
I like how her legs pop up with nobody grabbing them, and she just starts sliding away, and her arm is like, oh God, the news. When they were reporting the murder on the news, they just showed her body or corpse being carried out of the house on the news. I thought that was so wild. Like, in what universe would we do that? The one where we went to the Vietnam War. Anyway.
There's a lot of corners in this movie, is what I is my next note. Because I felt like every other scene we were turning the corner. We were, ooh,
Oh, I love a good corner. Just like how Michael Myers loved a good bush, girl. We love a good corner.
Freddy loves a good corner. And so essentially she is following this thing. She eventually sees Freddy, right? Well, she sees someone else who I guess works at the school. I don't know what she was, but it's her face with Freddy's body.
Yeah.
And she's like, Nancy, I'm looking at you. And that's when she realizes kind of like, what's going on? He cuts something. He cuts like himself, I think. And then there's like green goo and maggots coming out.
Oh my God. He's got slime inside of him. He's doing a slime tutorial.
That was so fun. Not a slime tutorial.
The maggots were awful.
Oh yeah, that was gnarly. That wasn't right.
Gnarly. And she, I think, ends up in that boiler room and realizes like, I need to wake myself up because he's been chasing her and getting her into this, backing her up into this corner. Excuse me. She takes her arm, puts it up against the hot pipe, and goes, burns herself, wakes up, screaming.
Had the scream in the back of the English class. I would, if I was working there, I would have peed my pants.
Yeah.
That's terrifying. Yeah, because
the teacher is just like, hey girl, maybe like she does not know what to do at all, which like I understand, but she was just kind of like,
they should not have let this child on campus. As someone who works on a campus, that child should have never been there. Her friend died and she was there last night, so don't let her in.
That was wild. And she is just like, I'm gonna go home, and the teacher's like, you'll need a hall pass.
I was so fucking dumb.
What the fuck? I was like, okay, girl.
I feel like that's commentary on like the public education system. Like, girl, it don't matter.
Yeah. True. So her next step is to visit Rod in jail. She says, I need to talk to Rod. Because she can't stay out of that jail cell. She realizes that Freddy was probably the one who killed her because who killed Tina, because he mentions to her how she was just randomly like flailing and like doing all this stuff, and then she got slashed with 4 slashes all at once.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. And that's when she puts the 2 and 2 together and she realizes those are Freddy's knife fingers.
Fingernails. And then she's like, I gotta go. And he's like, oh, okay, bye. Right. And then she goes home and is like, you know what would fix this? A bubble bath. So
bubble bath.
So she jumps in a bubble bath while she's exhausted, which, like, hello, use 2 brain cells. But that's why this movie's camp. So she's laying in the tub and she's like dozing off, and her mom's like, hey, don't do that. Don't fall asleep in there because you'll drown. And she's like, I'm not gonna fall asleep. And then immediately falls asleep. And then we get this wild shot, dude, of her. She's got her 2 knees sticking out of the tub, and yet like you're looking up towards her face, and you just see his hand come up in between her legs. Yo, that was messed up. And I know that's
I've seen this shot,
like some of y'all's fantasies.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus.
I've seen this shot recreated. This is like where it comes from, right? This is the original shot, because I feel like I've seen this recreated in other movies and stuff with like the bathtub and the in between the legs. So that was crazy, iconic, beautiful. I also read into the behind the scenes for that. What did you have to say?
I was just gonna call him a pervert.
Oh yeah, he's weird.
We were talking about, Christian and I were talking about this. We were like, how old is this woman? How old is this girl? Because she's in the movie, she's 15.
Yeah.
I have to look it up.
She's in the movie, she's 15. So
she's like 15, but the actress is 21, which like,
and I see what we're saying, but in the movie, what we're implying,
it was still weird.
The cooch that I'm looking at is a 15-year-old cooch, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
It was a little weird, baby.
Male gaze. And so what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so basically the way that they set up the scene, because I looked into it, was that bathtub was like bottomless, and below it was like a pool. And so underneath the girl was like the stunt actor dude. His name was Doyle. Or last name
Doyle?
Chelsea.
Sorry
Respect to
if your name
Doyle.
is Doyle.
Respect Doyle, dude. So I don't remember if that's his first name or his last name, but they call him Doyle in this. Oh, Jim Doyle. His last name's Doyle. And so okay, 15-year-old girly, 15-year-old girly in quotes, is sitting with her legs straight out. He's sitting across from her or laying in the water, horizontal. She's sitting on his legs. And then he's doing the hand. Does that make sense? The visual?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I get it. We're facing each other
this.
and you're on my legs.
But he's underwater completely. Like he's holding his breath.
That's
and
crazy.
Doing that.
Wow.
In the water. So he held his breath.
Bathtub?
They made it a pool underneath. It's like deep.
That's crazy.
Gotta get it bottomless to get to the top.
And she's literally sitting on him, and he said, I was holding my breath for up to 1.5 minutes for those scenes. Heather was basically sitting on my knees. So she's sitting on his knees, he's holding his breath, and then he does that whole thing. And I think which I don't think we mentioned at this point, obviously the hand comes up, Freddie is about to get her, and her mom knocks on the door, bing, 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 wakes her up, she's out of the dream, hand goes back into the water. And the mom, what did she knock on the door for?
She told her
to check on her because
asleep.
No. She starts making noise. She starts like fumbling around or something.
No. That when the hand goes back down is when she's like, don't fall asleep, you're gonna drown in there. And then she falls asleep, and then he completely takes her underwater.
And he gets her.
He gets her, he pulls her underwater, is like trying to drown her. And for that part, what happened was under the bubbles, they put a washcloth on Nancy, the actress for Nancy, on her stomach. And so the actor that was still under, or not the actor, the dude, the stuntman who was underwater, would yank the washcloth so that she knew that once she felt that go, that's when she would drop. And then she did that, which was like, that's, I don't know. I thought that was really cool, the way they set up that whole thing. And then he would drop his knees, and she would.
The imaginative imagery in this movie is just top tier, because obviously it's like supposed to be dreams and stuff, but like
very surrealism, very Dali. As a surrealism lover,
it was cool.
I love it. I thought it was so cool.
Yeah,
we haven't gotten to my favorite part yet, but Christian,
Yeah.
Also, bless this girl's white mom. She was really just trying. She was really just trying her best.
Can I tell
She's
you,
like, sweetie,
he was wearing pounds of makeup in every shot of that movie. She had a red lip at one point and a dark eye.
Sexy.
She was trying so hard to be like a good mom, and she's like, I made you some warm milk, and she's like, I hate you, mom. Like, she just wasn't helpful. Mom. And then finally I was like, okay, bitch, drown. Like, then go ahead and die.
Bleep. But
oh yeah.
But she also, was dealing with alcoholism and that whole thing, that whole arc. Yeah. So I can understand why she was frustrated.
Yeah, let her relax, girl.
Oh, not to that degree. But okay.
Anyway. Then she like almost dies underwater, and then her mom is like, wake up, and she like wakes up, and the mom comes in, and because she like takes a wire hanger and is trying to like open the doorknob because she locks herself in the bathroom. And she's like, I'm fine, I just slipped and fell when I was getting out of the tub. Okay, liar.
Why are we
this girl is taking it so much better that she has to be the one to save everyone from Freddie than anyone ever would.
Right.
Because in that moment, she was like, nothing, mom, and then she closes the door and like looks in the mirror. I'm like, why are you like becoming a fucking soldier all of a sudden? Like,
and
what?
Can I tell you one thing about me? I'm telling my mom. Hey, I'm telling my mom.
Yeah.
Hey,
they never tell anyone.
Their parents.
No.
She like
they're like,
becomes an adult.
I have this plan
and I'm gonna do it.
Can I tell you? I'm almost 23 years old. I'm telling my mom. Hey, I'm telling my mom.
Mom, help, mom. If anyone's gonna believe me, it's my mom.
Can I tell you, I call my mom when I pass a large bowel movement. I am calling my mom at every point of the day. I love my mother. She knows things about me she wishes she didn't.
Us too.
Yeah. Things about these people she wishes she didn't. And because I tell my mom everything. One thing about me, I'm going to tell my fucking mom. I would never do this. Cannot relate.
Oh, then she opens the medicine cabinet. She's like, I gotta do this. I go on my own. And she opens it, finds the pills that say stay awake pills.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
oh, we just have those?
Yeah.
That's wild.
What would those even be fucking for? A narcoleptic person? Like,
yeah, that's why it feels like it would be
Adderall,
a prescription moment for someone who has like an issue with narcolepsy.
So they used to do caffeine pills. They just made them for people to.
I feel it was the equivalent in my brain of a 5-hour energy.
There was a Saved by the Bell episode about caffeine pills where she like took too many. Yeah, she got like addicted to caffeine pills. It's like super famous for like millennials, but yeah.
I wrote down in one of my notes that I can understand how this film scared and traumatized teens in the 80s because, wow, the Imarachi was insane. Compared to like the other like horror movies from these times that we've seen. It was just like like the long arms, the weird like goo, like what is going on? The goo. So anyway, Nancy was like, I'm gonna use these pills, whatever. And she's like, I'm gonna get my boyfriend, Glenn, to watch me sleep. That is my plan. So she calls Glenn over, or I don't remember how she told him, but Glenn comes over.
He literally was at her window, and then she opened it and was like, why the hell are you up here? And then lets him in.
Yeah, and she's like, I know what I want you to do. Watch me sleep.
Give my man Glenn. Give my man Glenn some love, man. He climbed all the way up there. I know he'd be doing that a couple times.
Wasn't he barefoot too?
He was barefoot climbing up a rose bush trellis. Like, give my man a little something. Because like then he comes in and she's like, I need your help for this. And she turns off the light. He's like, oh my God. And then she's like, no, you're gonna sit there. And I mean, I'm team Glenn. And she's like, I'm gonna see if I can go find him when I fall asleep. That's
what I'm saying. No, especially no 15-year-old period. No 15-year-old period.
Yeah,
would be like, I guess I have to do this myself. I'd be like,
right?
Someone help me.
Help.
Oh yeah. Can I tell you at 15 years old? 15?
Right.
Can I tell you also the way that I'm built? My entire school knows. I've told everyone. Hi, I've told everyone.
Yeah.
She's made a post publicly on Instagram.
Do you remember me? Yeah, I'm posting it on my spam. I'm like, guys.
On the spam account.
Guys, I'm having a weird dream.
One thing I'm going to be scared. Oh, always.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. She's already cyanide the tooth.
Oh,
so she. Oh,
that's true.
She falls asleep
because she watched what?
Taken.
Yeah. So Nancy falls asleep and is gonna go look for Freddy Krueger. She doesn't know his name yet. She's just gonna look for the scraggly man. So
I don't like that they called him Fred Krueger.
Yeah. So she's like, I'm gonna go find a sleep.
His legal name.
I'm gonna go find a sleep. I'm gonna go fall asleep and find him. Okay, so she falls asleep and sees Tina in her bag again with all her
Tina in her bag.
Tina in her bag.
Tina's in her motherfucking bag.
And you know what I did like?
These bugs all over her bag.
Oh yeah,
it's so annoying. And she's like touching. She's like, Nancy. And I'm like,
so weird.
If you don't get away from me, I can help you. Girl.
I did like that this was like a normal reaction to like your best friend dying. Sometimes in the horror movies, they just fucking blow past it so fast. They're like, oh my God, my best friend of 12 years died. Oh, sucks.
Well, yeah, I mean, can I tell you, it didn't look like she cared that much at the
No, she was trying to cry.
Oh God.
You know what I mean? It was written into the script. It was supposed to be there.
But then like
yeah.
she starts running away from him, and she tries to go up her stairs in her house
and
in
they
the
turn
dream,
into like,
and they turn into marshmallow fluff. Is it cake? Is it cake? I want those stairs. Oh my god, I wanted to eat them so bad. I don't know what they were. I gotta look it up, but I loved it, girl. I want all my stairs like that. I wrote, I want marshmallow stairs.
Is that a staircase or is it cake?
Also, he's like still chasing after her, and like he has a little bit of that paranormal in him, because he really do just be popping up out of nowhere more than some of these other people.
Well, can I tell you, he's in a dream, so
yeah. So he pops up out of nowhere, and I wrote,
this is just an extra long episode of Charmed.
Yeah, I just love his little giggle that he does. Like he's like, and I'm like, he's having so much fun.
That's what I'm saying. I love that he's having fun, and he's
having a great time.
He's googling it. I was looking into, when I was looking at these articles for like the behind the scenes of stuff, it mentioned that like this killer stood out amongst the other ones in like this time period of horror movies because he had personality. It wasn't just like
exactly
he's funny.
He's having a great time,
goofy.
Which is part of the reason that I think I wasn't scared. Whereas with next week's episode, the person has no emotion whatsoever, so I have all these anxieties that I put upon the character, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh my god, what's this next thing? But Freddy's face is so emotive. I don't know, it emotes, and he's very well.
He's silly. He's
just
a
little guy.
Dude.
I love him. He's so cute.
Even his fingers got character, you know what I mean? He's dripping in charisma.
So she's struggling against him, and of course she's like, Glenn, help. Glenn passed out in the chair in the corner. She also at some point
sees Rod. I don't remember if you mentioned this in the dream.
Oh, and, she sees she's above
like
Rod
looking
in his
cell.
She
runs to the jail, and she looks in the window and she sees Rod, and then Freddy's like
hee hee, and she's like, I'm gonna go. Yeah, so then when she wakes up, she's screaming. Her mom busts into the room. She's like, honey, are you okay? And I'm like, this mom's gonna have a stroke. Like every time she turn around, this girl is screaming. And then she actually wasn't awake, right? Or something. I just have Diablo.
She did. Didn't she wake up because then she goes, Rod, you had one freaking job. Hey, Ron.
Not Rod.
Hey. Not Ron.
Glenn.
Hey, Glenn, you had one job. So maybe what the hell? And you fell asleep.
In his defense, though, I did want to say this. In his defense, it's the fucking 80s. What the shit, dog, am I supposed to do? Stare at your wall the whole time? Do you even have a TV?
He can't watch Netflix
room?
on his phone. Like
he can't watch TV because then her mom will know that she's awake and she's not supposed to be. He's just supposed to twiddle his little thumbs and wait for her. And he doesn't think any of this is real, so he's just like, my fucking girlfriend's tweaking. I'm just here.
My girlfriend's tweaking.
I know that's what all of my boyfriends say near the end of our relationship. They're like, this bitch tweaking.
She's tweaking. I just have Diablo written down, and then I have sexy little sheet chokehold, because the sheet we go to because after she has the dream,
it comes
Nancy
up in like this.
Yeah, Nancy runs down to the police station and is like, you have to check on him. Somebody's gonna hurt him, and they're like, he's asleep. And it pans to him.
Trigger warning for soup on the side.
So then this obviously Freddy Krueger has control of the sheet. Freddy's not around. It's just this little sheet snaking around his neck, and then it's just a sexy little sheet. And then it like
you know what it reminds me of? You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the vines of Audrey 2 in Little Shop when they be snaking around stuff.
Yes. Oh yeah, girls, and we haven't done Little Shop of Horrors. That's crazy.
That would be
cute. I know. And then it yoinks him across the cell. And then it was the most gentle way to kill somebody, and he still died. Like I'm telling you, like I would have been fine, because like the police run in the second he gets pulled up off the floor.
It happened, and then
they're
fast.
like, yeah, and then they're like, he's dead. And I'm
I
like,
know he didn't even
how?
wiggle around for very long.
No,
No.
how? It didn't like yoink him and snap his neck. It just held him
Yeah,
up
it was
a little
very
bit.
slow.
A lot of
But-
people do that recreationally.
Also,
defense-
there's no fucking jail or sheriff's department where you get to sleep and they give you a sheet.
And bars to tie it to. Like, girl.
Also,
Yeah,
you're being watched. You're not unmonitored. You're
Yeah.
watched all night long.
Oh yeah.
You are.
Yeah.
Uh,
Absolutely.
But what was I gonna say? He's hanging by the
Ting
thing.
tang, walla walla bing bing.
Oh,
Ooh,
it's
ee, ooh,
the
ting, tang, walla, walla,
80s.
bing, bing.
So I don't think it's not gonna be like graphic. You know what I mean? Like I think they just
Yeah.
had to like wham bam, mom, he's dead.
But
just
then it
Moral of the
gets
story.
gnarly after
That's
the
it.
next.
I think
No.
it's implied gnarly, but it's not like I'm.
No, that death isn't
Well,
gnarly.
You know what I
Other
mean?
deaths are
There's
gnarly.
yeah.
And it's like, why was this one so gentle? Like,
I mean, he
Yeah.
doesn't cut open, but I feel like they were all pretty mild in comparison to the movies now, where I can. Hey, have you seen Human Centipede?
you thought the blood
But did we
shooting out of the
see
bed to the ceiling was mild?
the-
And like,
I think
Can
so
I
because
hey Niagara Falls?
can I tell you, loved
That bed-
loved
that-
yeah,
that
but
scene.
that's not mild. Neither is what's
That's
her
not,
name,
like,
bloody being
ma-
tossed around the room.
But I mean,
Yeah,
like in
was
comparison to Evil
crazy.
Dead Rise.
No,
Well,
I'm in
yeah.
comparison
If you had
to
shown
the
Evil Dead
sheet.
Rise in
Yeah.
in the 80s,
We're not comparing
people
it
would
to
have
other
literally
stuff.
passed out.
Right, but
I
we're
think
saying
that-
within the same movie.
In this
there's the
movie,
sheet
that death was goofy compared to everything
versus
else.
slashing blood. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
his was like a little
Yeah.
sexy moment.
I think I would want to be taken out like Johnny Depp is taken out in this movie.
Blundered up.
That is crazy.
It's
What?
fast. I
Hey,
don't want to. I
hey,
don't want to.
no.
I don't want to
Hey.
milk it.
Hey, your mom comes into the room. Hey, Sabrina. Hey, are you? Sees that.
Yeah, no.
What?
Okay, maybe it's fucked. But like the other
It's
ones, it
fucked.
sounds like it
What
would
did that
hurt. That
Christian?
one.
Christian, what did that bed say?
You.
What?
I don't know what he wanted as an answer.
I don't know either. That's why I said that.
Ew. That bed said "Brar."
Oh, it said brar.
Oh, my god.
gosh.
But yeah,
Okay. Well, anyway, back to where we were. He's hanging there. So it simulates soup. So the
They
people
get
think
him
that he
down.
committed soup.
yeah. And she's like, no, like it was this dude that you can't see. And they're like, girl.
Like, are you good, Tina?
And then
I mean,
she starts describing the guy to her mom or her dad or both. And she's like, yeah, it's this guy and this is what he's wearing.
The
And they
dad.
are
Mom.
Or-
triggered.
That was later, I think. I don't know. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah,
they're
well,
triggered.
that was right after because they did his funeral, and then when they were walking back to the
Yes.
car is when she was like, it was Freddie, and he had and the parents were like,
Mhm.
take her to
They
go
were
sleep,
like-
and the mom's like, I'm gonna do one better, I'm gonna get her some help.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And
get
now
her
it's
some
time.
help.
Now it's
That
time for a
scared
sleep
me.
study.
That
Sleep
scared me because
study.
I thought she was gonna take her to
Da-da-da-da.
like sometimes we just jump the gun and go to a mental hospital. And
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, she takes her
Yeah.
for a sleep study. Mom starts smoking in the middle of
Yep,
this.
in the room. That's when she
in
has
the
the
hospital.
bright red lipstick, the dark
Mhm.
eyes. She was
She's
beat for the
like,
gods.
when she gonna fall asleep? And so they're watching her sleep.
I was triggered from my previous work
Oh my God.
experience with sleep
Your-
studies.
Yeah.
Terminology.
So while she's
Um,
sleeping, then she starts doing the in the bed, and they
Period.
wake her up, and her like dreaming is like off the charts, and like then she wakes up and she's like,
and
look,
while
I
this is
stole his hat.
happening, the doctor dude, hey,
yeah,
oh,
She's
Chelsea,
frozen. She's freezing.
Chelsea, she's freezing.
I'm gonna wait for her
Oh,
to come back.
Did
Hello?
anyone start recording this episode?
I
Yeah,
did.
It's
Yes,
Chelsea.
it's recording.
Okay.
Am I back?
Oh, I
now?
see it.
Okay.
Okay. While this is happening, the doctor dude and the mom are talking. And she's like, what even happens when we dream anyways? And he's like, no one really knows. That's the weird thing. Like, we don't really know. And I wrote, can you believe that is still true to
Yep.
this day?
Hate that.
Yeah.
Hate
Isn't
that.
that crazy that to this day, we just don't know. We have thoughts and thinks of what we think maybe.
Thoughts
It
and
could be
thinks
this, it could be
thoughts and
that.
thunks.
Exactly. But no one really knows, which is insane to me.
Hey,
Crazy.
and it's bothering me because I had a dream last night. First of all, had horrible dreams for a minute, girl. And then I had a dream.
No, Freddie?
No, of my my high school boyfriend. And I had a dream that we lived together. I have this, okay. It's not trauma. This is my lore. When I lived with my high school boyfriend after high school, we lived in the most disgusting apartment in the world. It was $650, if that gives you any inclination of how gross this apartment was. And I will frequently have dreams where I'm living back in that apartment because it was horrible, because there were roaches and rats and it was nasty. And I had a dream that I was living there with him again, little reoccurring nightmare. And is this cheating? I kissed him in my dream. And he this is so weird, guys.
Okay, keep going.
Well, I mean, he was your boyfriend, so
I know, but like this next part's weird. This is so weird. I kissed him, and when I came back, he had burped, and I could taste it in my mouth.
Kelsey, that's weird.
And I was like,
wow.
And I was like disgusted in my dream. Like I was like grossed out. And then in my dream, I pulled out like something out of my mouth. I don't know what it was. It was like gross goo. I don't know. And then like,
and then you blinked and the boyfriend was Freddy Krueger.
And then
that's what it sounds like.
But that's what I'm saying. Like my doctor wants me to do a sleep study because of this kind of stuff. But like I wrote down on here because somebody was like, I don't like dreaming. And I was like, I also hate dreaming. Because like that's the kind of dreams that I have, and then because they're like that the whole time,
it's stressful.
I don't actually get any sleep because I'm like fighting for my life in my dream, and then I wake up and I fight for my life in real life. So more of the story, stay out of my dreams, Joey. Like
stay out of her dreams.
Of course it's a J name.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, so they show Nancy. She's an REM. They see you see her eyes going ping, 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 rapid eye movement for those who don't know. And she's basically fighting Freddy. Ping, ping, ping in this dream. She wakes up because they're like, hey, she's freaking out. Like the shit's going everywhere. The data is finging. They wake her up. She comes to and realizes that she grabbed Freddy's hat and just had it with her in the bed. She like pulled it out of the dream into real life.
Mm-hmm.
So that was crazy, and that's when she realized that that's something she
honestly
can do.
That was cunt that she did that. I was like, finally a bitch that fights, come on.
Well,
yeah, she was actually like, come on.
And mom was like, oh my god,
a final girl who deserved to be final girl, I'm not gonna lie.
Period. True.
And the twist that this movie had also kind of got me. I liked it. So then they go home after the sleep study, and it's like the next morning or something. I don't remember how we got here, but she like goes to the kitchen and her mom is on the phone, and then she hangs up the phone and girl is like, yo, what's going on? And mom is like, nothing, you're fine, like don't worry about it, you just need rest, that's all. And
she was drinking coffee. She was on her like,
she was going crazy, caffeine pills, coffee, and mom's like, you need to sleep, and she's like, don't tell me what to do, you alcoholic. And then like busts her bottle of what I'm guessing was either like wine or vodka, I don't really know. And I was like, yo, she did not just out her mom like that, because like I guess she's drinking, but also like she's the only one helping you. Maybe have some sympathy for the woman. I don't know.
It's a hard rock in a rough space. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because
you mean stuck between a rock and a hard place?
Oh,
that's
Harry's
what
back.
I said. But it's like I don't know, like, hey, I don't want my mom to be a fucking alcoholic and bring random guys to the house that pass through my hallway and ask, do you want to go back into the sack?
That was a different
household.
Mom. That was a different mom.
Yeah.
That was Tina's mom.
That's Tina.
You know what? I put those two moms together.
No,
she has
girl.
her dad
That's
is
so
the husband.
crazy.
The
That's why I
police
feel
dude.
bad for this mom. She's like taking care, doing
Well,
some
yeah.
milk. Be
It's just
careful.
the
Like,
alcohol.
she's a really high functioning
for her, though.
alcoholic. Like, geez.
TBH, yeah, you're right.
I'll give her that. She was very high functioning throughout this whole thing,
Yeah, 'cause
except
it's-
towards that last scene. But whatever.
Oh, she was stressed, girl. She was stressed.
Through it.
You not too much on her.
Not too much on her. And so I wrote down the drama with the slap.
It is
Because then she's
drama.
like,
Oh, boom.
bitch slaps.
For talking about me. Yeah, how dare you, girl?
Mm-hmm.
I raised you.
Oh, wait.
Where your dad at?
Yeah. Did she slap her? She slapped the mom slap.
No, she slapped her because she broke a bottle.
Right. That's what it was. She broke the bottle, she slapped her. And she was like, I'm leaving. And the mom's like,
Go ahead. So
go ahead then. So Rocket. She leaves. And we get this scene where she meets up with Glenn and she's reading a little cute book on booby traps.
Yes, oh my god. It's so stupid. Which was really funny. Like Home Alone.
Yeah.
Oh my
and
god.
Glenn is like, girl, what? And he tells her about some I don't know what it was really. I don't remember. But it was like,
he just talk about a dream he has?
No, it was like the way that this culture or this particular group of people
particular culture, how they deal with dreams. Yeah. And it's like
I don't remember the exact
stuff. He was like, I can't sleep, so I'm just gonna eat because I'm stressed. So he's like eating hamburger, talking about this culture where like when they're having a bad dream, they turn their back on what's happening in the dream because it takes away the power from whatever is hurting them. Important for later. So yeah. And then after that, she goes home and her mom has put bars on all the windows.
Yeah, so, it's Chamber of Secrets after Harry blows up his aunt. Okay, can I tell you?
Nobody's coming in or out. Not you, Harry. Yeah. Harry Potter.
Do you know the scene I'm talking about?
No fucking kidding. No, that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Remember he blows up his... Oh, is it? No, I'm mixing movies.
It's not his aunt, but yeah.
Oh, no. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm mixing movies. It's when he... because that's Prisoner of Azkaban. He just runs away. This is when Dobby fucks up the cake in front of those golf people. Remember he was telling that golf joke and then he fucked up the fucking punchline and then he was like, you know what? Bars on the window.
Uncle Vernon said,
Can I tell you guys, if my wires are crossed, it's 11:24.
Hey, we're getting there.
And I'm tired. So I'm sorry. But
we've been working hard.
I'm having a great time.
Yeah, we're working. So anywho's she comes home, there's bars on all the windows. Mom, what the freak? And then she's like, come to the cellar, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, if my mama put bars on the windows and then said come to the cellar,
I'm scared.
Heading out.
Hey,
I'm heading out.
I'm scared. Hey, I'm scared.
Hey, you're gonna lock me in there. Flop. I've
seen a movie or two.
Yeah, not going to the cellar with you, weirdo. I think you might have lost it. So she goes down to the cellar. And mom is like, I should have told you this a long time ago. But
that was really good.
There was the guy. His name was Fredrold Krugart or whatever his name is. Government name. Frederick Krueger.
I wrote down Fred Krueger lore time.
Yes. And she's like, he used to kill children. So
he killed 20 kids in that neighborhood.
He was a serial children killer. And they arrested him, but because somebody filled out the paperwork wrong, the serial killer got released back into society.
Which is wild.
So her mom said, we don't play that game around here. We took his ass out.
And can I tell you, sometimes
and a bunch of other like angry parents.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to take it into your own hands. Then she reaches into their like wood
furnace.
Their furnace, pulls out the most damning evidence in the world. I don't know why we're holding on to this.
Yes.
His glove with the fingies. And she was like, she's like, I was just trying to protect you. And I'm like, yo,
That's something you
Mom
don't keep
just
from
killed a
me.
guy. Dad's a cop. What's going on in this town? We just killed this guy.
Also, I've been saying for days that I see this guy in a sweater and knife fingers, and you're telling me you're gonna gaslight me until you find.
Can I tell you that's crazy? Hey,
I can't believe
I'm having
that.
nightmares about this person that I've never met in my life, and you're not going to say anything. That's the part I'd be pissed about. That you knew about it the whole time and you didn't fucking tell me about it the minute that I said I had seen this guy.
And she's like, so that's the lore of Freddy Krueger.
And one of the lines I wrote that I was like, that was kind of iconic. She was like, "He's dead, baby, because mommy killed him."
Yeah.
And I was like, "You're scaring me, girl."
Yo,
I got scared.
I'm not going to the cellar with you, Mom.
She sounded crazy when she said that line. She said, "He's dead, baby."
Crazy.
And I said, "Mom, back up, Mama."
So then they pan to Johnny Depp in his room, and he's got like sweatpants and a slutty little crop top.
A little slutty crop top.
Yeah.
Yo,
he's got a little crop top on.
A little
and his
80s
slutty
crop
little
top man moment.
tummy's out. His tummy's ooh, and I'm like, whoa! I said, Johnny, put your slutty little tummy away. And he's like,
his legal name is Johnny.
I think his legal name is Johnert Darp. Nope. I'm gonna cry. So
so then he's like, the phone rings and it's his girlfriend, and he answers and she's like, I need you to meet me on my porch at like 12:30 or something, like midnight. Don't be late. Midnight. Don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep, Glenn. Hey, you know everybody's falling asleep. Don't fall asleep, Glenn. And he's like, got it.
Immediately.
Goes to sleep.
Hey, maybe like an hour later, he said, actually, it's nighttime.
I was pissed off. And then while she's waiting for midnight, she's in the window. She like changes in her room and then looks out the window. Hi, his dad across the street is staring into her bedroom window and talking about how she's the bad guy. Huh? You look like the bad guy, you pervert. Hi, I'm Chris Hansen. Have a seat for me. You're looking into a teenage girl's window. And not only that, he's on his front porch drinking a beer while he's doing it. And then the mom is like, the mom comes out and she's like, hey, like, that's weirdo behavior. And he's like, she better stay away from my kid. Hey, you better stay away from my kid. What are you doing, sir?
And also, hey, it's a 15-year-old girl. And he's like, she's the devil. She's
like, up to something over there.
Hey, maybe she's just going through it because her friend just died.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. Okay, cool. So yeah, Nancy's like, I'm gonna grab this man.
I'm gonna grab him. I'm gonna bring him back.
I'm gonna bring him back, just like I did the hat. Don't fall asleep, Glenn. You know. And I thought this scene was so funny when she sets up like her fake going to bed, so her mom can be at ease. She sets everything up. She's like, okay. Her mom tucks her in. She's like, good night.
Night, Mom.
Mom leaves. Not even a second after Mom closes that door.
She
lights on, throws off everything.
Lights on. Yo, I would have never.
The mom took away her coffee maker and like all the mugs of coffee that she had. She pulls out a second coffee maker. I don't know where she got that one. Pulls it out. She's like,
yeah, going ham on this coffee.
Going ham on the coffee. She turned on all the lights and her lamp. And I was like, hey, no way your mom, your mom is in the hallway. And she's like,
yeah,
she's just fast asleep.
And then she
all the lights are on. Yeah. Like she's not doing a very good job.
No. And Mom is standing like right there, throwing it back, throwing them back. Her mom's just wait. Her mom's just like throwing him back, and I'm like, you know what? Good for her. She's having a rough day. She put her daughter to bed, and now she's gonna go get a little turn, and that's fine with me. Mom supremacy. But anyway,
supremacy.
Then she gets a phone call. Nancy gets a phone call on her room phone, and she's like, Glenn, is that you? And it's Freddy Krueger being like, I'm your boyfriend now. Tongue out the phone. Tongue out the phone.
Was crazy.
My favorite fucking part.
It was Beetlejuice.
Can I tell you?
It was
literally like
all the monies to see Sabrina react to that scene. for the first time.
You should have seen me.
I know you
it was
vomited
quite a
and threw up.
reaction. It was
I know
quite a
you-
reaction. It was
It
quite a
was
reaction.
gnarly. He's
And I was watching this literally for shits and giggles. This was before we decided that we were going to watch this for the pod or something, maybe. And I was shocked because it's a practical effect. I think that's maybe what you would call it, a practical effect. I don't know if it's even effect because it's literally just
I don't know how they got that tongue.
It's not it's not actively licking, right? It's just like
Yeah, it's just
I think it is.
prop.
Wasn't it
licking.
moving?
It's
It's
licking.
licking.
moving.
I don't
I
think
don't
it was.
remember. I'm gonna
I
look it
don't
up.
think it was
Face.
moving crazy, but it was like or
So
something.
it's literally a phone, and then they like clay
Or maybe she shook
molded
it
a
and then
little
it was
mouth
loose.
with a tongue.
Ew.
That's somebody's fetish. That was crazy.
That was
Yeah.
that was wild.
Chelsea.
Loved it though. Can you
but
imagine
yeah.
having that as like a decoration in your house? It's kind of cunt.
But then she's like,
that'd be fun.
The phone
no,
sound?
Glenn, he's gonna get
Bum, bum.
Glenn. And he does get Glenn.
And let
He
me tell
does
you,
get
he
Glenn.
does.
The
He
way
does.
Glenn
His
gets
bed, Glenn's bed opens up. He gets sucked into the bed, and then a geyser, a Crescent gusher,
Y'all know what's that geyser called? The famous one, All Reliable.
Yosemite. Oh,
Old
No,
Faithful.
Old Faithful.
Old Faithful.
faithful. Oh,
Y'all know Old
Reliable's
Faithful?
the jellyfish net from SpongeBob.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
But yeah, a
Old
geyser
Faithful says-
shooting out of the bed, and the second that
Blood.
Glenn's parents can hear him screaming and suffering, they open the door. Boom! He's
It
only
was
blood.
such a
He's only liquid.
crazy, iconic.
It was
shot.
wild.
I
I know
was
I've
like,
seen that shot
what?
before.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nancy's
And
like,
also
Nancy
that-
does not react to the
part-
death of her boyfriend.
I wrote
part
that to
looked
Nancy did not give a fuck, just about Gina. She was like, they were like, oh, he's dead, isn't he? Then she was like, "Anyway,
Time
I'm
to
gonna
build
go get
some
Freddie."
booby traps.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
She
Not
had
a
a
tear
reaction
shed.
for like 2 seconds. I think we should have milked
care.
that more, but
Yeah, I feel like I needed an emotional
homegirl had to
breakdown.
literally be okay with the fact that her boyfriend was being murdered across the street. That's crazy.
Yeah. And then so she's like, time to build some booby traps. Women in STEM. She starts making all these little booby traps. She's drilling a hole in a light bulb for some reason.
I don't know what the fuck that was about.
That was wild. And then she goes and tries to get Freddy Krueger and booby trap him and get
she
him back
says-
to the real world. Because it like goes both ways. If she dies in her dream, she dies in real life. If he dies in the real world, he dies in real life. So like, yeah, if they switch spots. So anyway, he is so diva. I wrote down like
He's diva.
He's so diva. Like he's just like having a really fun, silly time. Like making sure all his stuff's on. Like the way that he was watching her while she was like walking around in like Dreamland or whatever. It's like Roku City in there. And
Roku
he's like
City.
he's like grabbing onto the wall and he's like, and then
This
he's like,
scene took forever. I watched the movie in entirety, except for this. I literally went fing, 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 fing. Guess what I missed? Nothing. It's just them following each other around corners for fucking
yeah,
ever.
him
They love
being a
corners.
diva. And then he and she before Nancy went in there, she called her dad. She was like, hey, at 12:30 on the effing nose, I need you to come into, I haven't asked you for nothing during this whole movie. I need you to get your ass in my bedroom at 12:30 and
catch
wake
these
me up
Literally.
and catch these hands and be friggin' ready. And he's like not listening. And I'm like,
Literally.
Jesus.
And
And
he's literally
he,
like, just like, yeah, I'm sure, whatever, cool.
Yeah, sure, whatever, cool. No, nobody around you's not all your friends are dying around you, and you might be
Yeah.
next.
And
So
then he
then-
sends a freaking like police. He's like, "Hey,
Yeah,
Carl,
just
can
watch
you
from
go
the
watch my
outside."
house?"
Like, girl, come on, now. Just say you don't like her.
And then Carl was worthless later.
Worthless. So anyway, I at that point, she's like fighting with him, and like he obviously doesn't show up at 12:30, and I wrote, you know what? I don't know if we can leave that in.
Okay.
I was waiting for that. was waiting.
I can't wait to
Like-
put that in the trailer. To put not the
I don't
not
know
the
if we
other
can-
part. I don't know if we can leave that in.
Almost quiet. I don't know if we can leave that in. But yeah,
I
And
love that
that's-
all of our reactions was
Yep.
but I would just like to have it stated
Because like
that I
agreed,
was-
but
I was not shocked that the police department was not organized enough to help her. Let me put it that
Yeah.
way.
yeah.
So then they finally break into the house. First they see like they get Miss Girl. She's like, "Oh my god, he's in here." She had already like booby trapped Home Alone him a few times
Yeah.
already. And he was still chasing after her. She had lit him on fire, and the way he was like, "Ow, ow, ow, ow," the whole time.
He did not
Goofy
care.
noises. Did not care. And then the police get in there, and Nancy's like, "He's going after Mom." They go into Mom's room. Hey, her bed, open gates of what
Oh
the
my
hell
God,
was
edge of
even
the
that?
seat. Oh no. Can I tell you, but for the recording, I think it's literally just her talking to herself and all of
Yeah.
us frozen.
yeah,
Anyway, so Mom
There's gonna be
is
some heavy
lowered
heavy-
into
Eddie Evering.
the underworld or something. The bed opens
Great.
up
She's
and
like
it's just
glowing.
smoke and lights. Ooh, that's because she is the OG. He got her, but she
Yeah.
did nothing wrong. Free my girl. She did nothing
Free
wrong.
my girl.
Free mama.
Free my girl. But that bed scene was kind of killing me a little bit. It was so like unnecessary. It's so different from all the other murders. And then Freddy Krueger
So wild.
finally catches up to Nancy, and he's like, "I get you," and she's like, "You know what? You don't
No,
got
you can't.
nothing. It was very labyrinth of her. She's like, "You have no power here. You ain't." She literally said like, "Your shit. You ain't nothing. You can't get me." And he goes to get her and he dies because she didn't give him the power to
Mhm.
snatch her.
But
Allegedly. Allegedly. But then, of course,
And
she
Hey, the dad comes in, by the way, when this is happening after or whatever. Actually, no, this was before. I just forgot to mention this. When he hugged her, he just hugged her as if we just watched
Mom die.
dissipate
She
into
again
nothing.
didn't care.
And he goes,
and he just hugs her.
I know, that was a lot.
and then he walks away. Hey, what do you mean? You're no longer a cop. You're no longer in work mode. You're in dad mode. Save me. Protect me.
So
What
then
the hell was that? Anyway.
then-
also just human being
magically-
mode. What?
yeah,
Yeah. Because then he just
magically
gets back to his job.
she like wakes up. She wakes up and she's walking outside with her mom, and she's like, "Mom, what a wonderful day. It's so bright outside." And Mom's like, "Yeah, it is. But like it's so foggy." And then she's like, I guess I found the mystery all by myself." And then her friends pull up in the convertible and they're like, "Come on, Nancy, you big galoot." And she jumps in the
car.
convertible with her friends, and then without anybody touching anything, the top pops back on the convertible, and it's green and red striped. And you're
Stripes.
like, "Ooh," and then the windows start going up, and everybody's like,
Window
"What's going
prints.
on? What's going on?" And she's like, "Mom, help me." And Mom is just like, "Tee hee hee, bye,
Bye.
Nancy," and they drive away. And then
In the
And
most awful
this
looking way.
was
this is the funniest
insane.
scene of the movie. This is the funniest scene of the movie. And then the mom is standing there, and I'm thinking, "Oh, it's Freddy Krueger in disguise, like pretending
Like
to be
it's
Mom."
gonna turn or something.
He
Hey.
pops out of the window in the door, which can I tell you is only this big. It's only this big. He
Very
pops
small.
out, yeets her inside
That was
so
a lot.
effing fast.
And
Oh,
she folds
my-
like a fortune cookie
yes,
and gets
back
sucked
into the house.
in.
I thought I was gonna pee my pants when I was watching that part because of the way that was the craziest, goofiest way to end that movie. Because then afterward, it's just the song, it's just the music,
Mhm.
and then it's over, and it's like, what he just do to her?
That was
No
so good.
discourse, no notes, no nothing.
He
Okay.
yoinked her so good.
He yoinked her
I-
so good.
Question. So what do you guys think that means? Like, does he was this another dream and he did actually kill her, or like is she stuck in this limbo world? Like what is this going on?
I think she's either stuck in a limbo world or this is how she dies. He just had to be more creative at it.
But she would have had to have been
smart.
asleep. So was this just the next it fast forwarded to the next time that she slept?
I'm guessing, or she probably passed out because like girl hasn't slept in days. She's losing her marbles. So
True.
I'm assuming it's just whatever the next time is that she sleeps.
Maybe
I haven't either.
Answer our questions.
But yeah, that was crazy.
And that was a nightmare on Elm Street.
Before Christmas.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Okay,
Let's rate it. I give this a 10 out of 10. I'm sorry. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was great.
God damn. He really does yeeter through the window. I just watched it again.
Yoink.
He does.
It's obviously a dummy because the legs are so fucking hard.
Yes.
But he goes.
It's so good.
And such a small little window of the door. We could have done anything else to kill the mom, but they said no, just suck her in through that window.
It's so good.
I don't know what it means.
But yeah,
I want to watch like an ending explained video.
Yeah,
you know how
I give it
those.
10 slime tutorial slime tutorial booby traps. Booby trap slime tutorials.
Fingy knives, booby knife.
Harry's gonna leave the call.
Let Harry cook. Harry cooks and we just throw words at him.
Okay.
Booby fingers, knives,
water
Dreamy,
bath,
Rem, REM,
minor,
Arianka. Sorry.
Arianka.
I was thinking REM, REM sleep. Anyway. Slime,
see
maggot.
Any boobs in this movie. Crazy to put booby
Why are we
trap.
saying booby? Oh, booby trap. That's why. Booby trap, finger slime,
maggots.
Oh my god.
Knife,
suck, door, window.
Booby trap, finger slime, maggot, knives. Hey, crazy.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I like it.
But how many of them?
Well, we haven't
I give
said.
it 10. I give it 10. I loved it.
I also give it 10. My rating.
I think it would be hilarious to watch this every Halloween.
It was one of my fave, like out of the 80s ones, definitely one of my favorites. And
yeah, this
out of the ones we watched, this was peak. So like for me, I probably shouldn't say this in this. Fuck it, I don't give a fuck. Whatever. If you just suck my, I liked Nightmare. Then I would say, Halloween, then Friday, then Ghost Ship would be.
Ghost Ship is last.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nightmare, then Friday. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying, guys. Hot take. Sorry, Friday was my favorite of what we watched this year.
It's awful.
It's okay
to
to
me,
be
it
wrong.
has no plot. Yeah,
I didn't think it was awful. I just don't. It wouldn't be my favorite. I like Halloween and Nightmare.
I was just gagged. I think
I
the
would
body
watch-
horror of like the that they did with like the pinning bitches everywhere was so funny. That bitch with a hatchet to her face was so much.
I just love for me, I think what I really liked about Nightmare was like the campiness, but also just like the weird, like it's just like you never know how someone's gonna die. It's not like predictable in the sense where it's like, oh, okay, and we see her get stabbed or we see her get choked. It's like, hey, this girl got yoinked through a window. Hey, and this person, he's actually on fire, and now he's gonna come for you. And the phone turned into a tongue. Like it's just like I never know what's gonna happen, and I thought it was really fun to see like what they come up with as like ways that people die and ways that he messes with them. And it's like brought the supernatural. It brought like the supernatural elements that we like in movies, but then the people who don't love slashers, like maybe who don't prefer them, like Harry and Sabrina, or I don't know if you've turned over a new leaf after watching.
Maybe I have turned off, but turned off what?
Turned the new leaf.
Turned off the leaf. It's late.
But it's okay. But yeah, it's like for people who don't necessarily love slashers, it brings in that supernatural fun element, but it also is like, hey, he's killing bitches the whole time, which is like I really like about slashers. It's like someone's always on trying to get someone. So I feel like it was a perfect merging of those two worlds. So that's my case for a Nightmare on Elm Street. I give it 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. It was so good.
I just found this to be actually campy, and I found Friday the 13th to be just bad, and then it's funny for people to watch it later on. I don't find it to be camp.
Well, I don't know if I would say it's Friday the 13th supposed to be camp, because I didn't think it was.
That's what you guys said it was in our episode.
I think it is because now it is now. I don't think it was
now.
then.
Yeah, I think like in the sense of like in the moment, it was the first of its kind. And also we watched these a while ago, so now I've sat with all of them. And I when I first watched Nightmare, it was the first one I watched. I liked it so much, and now that I've sat with it, it's actually not my favorite. I don't know if I would watch it again, whereas the other ones I would watch again.
It's very interesting. It's interesting to see how, like, I mean, obviously these have been around for forever and people have their opinions and we're just late to the party, but it's just interesting how, like, the horror community, even within the horror community, there's like the sections of like the Jason girlies, the Michael girlies, the Freddy girlies, the Ghostface girlies, etc. But yeah, and also, not, this didn't bias my opinion, but I would like to state that one of my favorite movies that I've mentioned before is Scream, of horror movies. Wes Craven is the director for that film. He created Scream, the Scream franchise. He also directed Nightmare on Elm Street. So I might just be gagged for his like directorial style and stuff. I don't know. So yeah.
He sure is good.
So 10/10 Sabrina rating.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I think it's a 6 for me. I'm so sorry.
10/10/6. That's fine.
10/10/6.
Harry?
Give it a 7 because I liked it more than Friday the 13th, but less than Halloween.
I can't believe I'm the only one. I can't explain why I liked Friday the 13th so much. I just thought it was so funny. I thought it was funny, and I know this isn't a Friday the 13th episode. I just feel like I have to defend it. And I got spooked, and I feel like I never really got spooked in this movie. It was just kind of like cool visually, but I wasn't ever like really anxious at any point because I don't know. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. 8.25.
8.25.
8.25.
So for Nightmare on Elm Street, we have 8.25 out of 10 booby trap finger slime maggot knives.
Yeah.
We did it, guys.
Lo hicimos.
Thank you, Christian and Chelsea, for taking the lead on that episode.
Yeah.
I know. I think we're slow.
For anybody who was watching, I'll give you a little bit of context. If you've made it this far, girl, you made it this far. We have been filming since maybe it was like 8 p.m.
It was 8.
Yeah, 8
p.m. It's midnight.
It is 11:50. It's about to be midnight.
Y'all go ahead and go do your.
But that's because of our busy schedules. We had to do a lot of.
So you're welcome. You're welcome.
So
thank you. Every once in a while would be good.
We filmed next week's episode first, and then we did this episode after.
You guys will shortly in a week know why.
Yeah. And it's just taken its toll a little, but we've had so much fun. This was a wonderful movie. I hope everyone enjoyed talking about Nightmare on Elm Street. My mom will not watch this episode because she hated this movie.
Too traumatized. I thought this was for her. I thought she would enjoy it.
Can I tell you, that's so fucking funny. She wanted us to talk about it. She won't be reminded about anything about this movie.
Wow.
That's so wild. But I need to ask my mom about it because I know she'd be traumatized by some horror movies, and she didn't like. I remember she explicitly The Exorcist. She's like, I cannot watch The Exorcist ever at all, and
That's so
also Scream specifically.
That's so funny because, like, to me, those are two of the
not
most
scary.
Like, not scary movies we've ever seen. Oh God, help her if she ever accidentally like puts on Hereditary one day on TV.
Oh, she's tough.
And she's like, "Oh, this is such a sweet little family film." Yo, your mom will have nightmares for weeks.
Can I tell you, nothing Hereditary to me is a lullaby in comparison to Evil Dead Rise. I think to me,
I didn't find Evil Dead Rise scary. I think it's shocking.
You don't think
I'm not like
advice is scary, bitch?
I think it's shocking. I think it's like, oh my God, like this is happening, this is crazy, and I'm screaming, but I'm not like shitting my pants. Like I'm not like, oh my God. For me, like Hereditary did that. Midsummer was like scary in a different way, like unsettling. And Smile was unsettling for me. If anybody's seen Smile,
Oh yeah,
hated how I felt after that movie, but
Loved
that's
it.
what made me love it so much because it's like, hey, that's how you know it's good. But anyway, let's wrap this up because we all want to go to sleep.
Amen.
Yeah. Good
Let's go.
night.
And that's the end of the episode. Good night.
Thank you guys so
well,
much
thank
for
you
watching
guys.
the third installment of our October special. We have
Yes,
one more, and we have a
ma'am.
very exciting surprise for that episode. So please make sure you go ahead and check it out because it's going to be fun.
And that one might be
yeah,
fun to watch, just so everyone's aware. Might
it's always
want
fun
to
to
sit
watch
down for
because we're
that one.
hot. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, and Christian, take it away.
All right, thank you guys so much for listening to The Witching Hour. If you guys want to follow us on Instagram, you can find us at The Scary Queens. That's THE, Scary Queens, just in case you didn't know how to spell that. And you guys can always find us on most podcast streaming platforms like Spotify, Overcast, YouTube, Apple
And your
Podcasts,
mom.
and Google Podcasts. Sabrina, end it. Please.
Stay
Put
afraid,
me out of
y'all.
my misery.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.